Okay, so these girls are going to talk just a little bit about the Ag CSI and the Ag Impact contests. They've done each of those contests and been fairly successful on the state level. So
with the Ag CSI and Ag Impact, it's consistent of 7th and 8th graders. However, it's the only middle school chapter, so you aren't going to compete against high schoolers. But if you're a 7th grade group, you could be competing against 8th graders, and if you're an 8th grader, you could be competing against 7th graders and stuff like that. Every year, the state, is it the state level?
Yeah.
So the state level will come up with a topic that you have to research or brainstorm. Ours was like important things in our county or something like that. So we chose to talk about century farms in Iowa. That's one of the topics that we did. Another thing that we did through Ag CSI was trying to grow food underwater for the growing population. So those are kind of the topics that you're going to be getting, and then you have to write a research paper. Is that how long? Yeah, you just have to write a research paper on it, and then base some sort of presentation off of that research paper and off of all the things that you learned throughout the project.
So what are some tips for like choosing how you're going to present your information?
Be really creative.
Really creative?
Don't do something that like is boring or like normal. I like just think outside of your box.
Yeah, the time requirements for Ag CSI and Ag Impact are 10 to 12 minutes. So it has to be at least 10 minutes long, and you don't want to just sit there and bore everyone with a bunch of facts and numbers for 10 minutes, because the judges aren't going to want to see that. You're not going to want to put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's just not going to be a fun experience. So you want to be creative, and you want to make sure that you can have those 10 minutes where the judges are having a good time and can actually understand what you're talking to them about.
There's lots of groups that don't necessarily do like a PowerPoint and a script. Like a lot of them do like skits or fun little acting out, stuff like that.
Wear costumes.
Yeah.
Emma, you were saying something earlier. I don't remember what it was.
What was it?
I don't know. The facts. Oh yeah, numbers.
Don't throw a lot of facts at the judges, but when you do use some like numbers, make sure you say them slow enough so that they can comprehend it and really like absorb the information.
So in our chapter, we do Ag CSI in 7th grade and Ag Impact in 8th grade. And as Emma Kay said, like the topics kind of change each year. But you could, read through the rules and figure out what contest interests you. It doesn't have to be by grade level like we do it. And I think that you can have 6 people on a team, so you could have a good group of students doing the contest. And yeah, just being creative. The judges will ask you questions at the end, so you have to be prepared for that. And
you want to be knowledgeable of the topic you're talking about. Like when we did century farms, we had a couple people in our group who had century farms in their family or came very close to having century farms. So it was easy for us to dive into it and to find research about it because we had it in our family, so we had heard stories about it already, or we knew exactly what it was because we had received the title ourselves. So I think that also made it easier for us to answer questions because we could relate it back to stories that we had heard from our grandparents or even stories that we knew that we grew up with because it was so relatable because we had experienced it ourselves. So if you can find something like that that you can connect to, then it's a lot easier to answer those questions that you have no idea what they're going to be at the end of the presentation because everyone's presentation is going to be different.
And we also did a lot of interviews with, most any topic we do a lot of personal interviews. So don't be afraid to do that too and find people that can help you, and that looks good for the judges too. Okay.